use. Obviously the base seasons geo is not realistic for Pennsylvania, but Midwest allows you to do some crops that you probably can get away with in Western Pennsylvania, but maybe not in Eastern Pennsylvania. Whereas using the New England geo, you're going to be pretty much restricted to crops available for Eastern Pennsylvania. Or you can get totally unrealistic and play Pennsylvania with an Australian geo, and that could end up with interesting results. Let's put that off. Oops. Now I also saw that Black Sheep are working on the Old Stream Farm for 22, and from what I gather they're going back to Farm Sim 15 version of it, so we're not going to have the nice shiny glass steel John Deere dealership. We're going back to the little garage in town. I'm also guessing the expansion fields on the west side of the map aren't going to be there, because those were added on 17 version 2. And 19 we got the whole expansion area to the north side of the railroad tracks, and a new road the top of the farm, and new BGA. That's so they're going all the way back to their original map, and I liked the original map. The original map was good, and I played the original map for a time. I played, or Farm Sim 17 is when I got into Farming Simulator, so I played the Farm Sim 17 original map, and then they updated it to 2.0, and I played 2.0 as well, and that gave you some bigger fields and stuff. It made the map a little bit bigger. It still wasn't a pure 2x2 map, which is the default map size. And then I think I think Seasons came out, and it was a case of, look, I've played the Old Stream Farm twice and made it a fairer distance, and I'm not going to play it again just because Seasons is now available. And I ended up on Lawfolds with Seasons, but when 19 came out, I specifically waited until Seasons came out before I played. Did I? Or did I actually play it twice again? I might have played it twice again. Once when it first came out, and the second time when Seasons was available, and they'd optimised the map for Seasons as well. But I liked the Old Stream Farm because it had the European quaint little old village that's been there since the Dark Ages, and it was a really good atmosphere. And then their 19 version added the new BGA and the new dealership, and they closed the old dealership and turned it into a gas station. And it was kind of, it was still, it had the right atmosphere. There was modernity was impinging on this old sort of left in time village. But I appreciated that. Now they're going back to the old village again, which I'm perfectly happy with. Again, it depends. I think we get to the point. It depends where the map, when the map comes out, what other maps come out at the same time. Because I have played through that map 4 times now, and do I want to play it again? I don't know. Lawfolds, I played a lot of Lawfolds, but it was my Farm Sim 17 Saturday morning stream. So my Saturday morning stream went on until I found a map and Seasons was available for 19. So yes, I played Farm Sim 17 Lawfolds for a very long time. It was because I was playing it with Seasons. That was 6 season years of playthrough on that map. But then Lawfolds 19 came out, and it was sort of, I put so much time into this map already in 17. I'm not really sure I want to get deeply involved in it again. And when it came to switching the Saturday stream to, I should probably be playing Farm Sim 19 now, since it's been out a year and Seasons is now available. Just coming up with, I need to find a map I'm going to be comfortable with. So this map we have been playing for a long time. I'm interested, how long have we been playing this map? Seriously, we've played this version of the map for 71 hours, plus we have the number of hours I had in when I was playing the Oxygen David map, which was, I think we were on to our 3rd year, 4th year, coming into our 4th year. So effectively this is the 4th year on this map. I had to rebuild the playthrough for because we lost so much. Some of the mods I had I don't have anymore and didn't have available because I got them from third-party sites where they're not available anymore. Kind of like the farming agency site was turned off a couple of months back. So if you want to play this map, you now have to go to the farming agency Discord to get the map. But there was a couple of equipment mods I was using that came from specific third-party sites where, you know, those sites are gone. And sadly I've lost those mods permanently. So I tried to keep the reboot of this map as close as possible to what we had going. But there were a couple of at least equipment pieces where I could not directly replace them. This particular step takes so long. Don't even know how well we're doing. Oh, it doesn't count bales you create for a contract. Okay. So, big guess. No idea how many bales we've got. We'll have to count them when we... Did you find a new vehicle? In real life? Yes. Yeah, the vehicle we've got now is a Chevy Equinox 2016 model, which is the older model, which is still a mid-size SUV. It seems the 2018 got smaller. It's almost something I would consider to be a sports utility wagon rather than sports utility crossover. It's still a crossover. It rides a lot lower than our 9.7 did, which was a mid-size SUV based on a truck. Doesn't quite have the hauling capabilities of the 9.7, but we never got around to hauling anything. And the trunk is a little bit smaller, which isn't a detriment. We never use the 9.7's full capacity. And it does have better legroom, which, having a teenager in the house, she's definitely happy with it. Because she doesn't complain when a larger person sits in the passenger seat and pushes the seat back, because she's still got legroom. That was I found, in spite of the fact the 9.7 is a big SUV. I mean, it's not 3-row seating SUV, but it's a good size SUV. The passenger space is very, very cramped. It's sort of the cup holders were shoehorned into the most awkward places, so that if you had a big cup, they wouldn't fit in the cup holders. And this one, it's quite open, I'm finding. So, that's 6 years of development. But for the Equinox, the GM did not skimp on passenger cabin area. They did skimp on cargo space. If you compare it to the equivalent Ford or Honda, I've got less trunk space than they have. However, if I put the back seats down, I got more. The rear passengers are definitely more comfortable. So I'm good with that. We tend to carry passengers more than we carry stuff. Yeah, that was because the other finding with our wrapping was we did wrap some clover silage a couple of weeks ago on stream, and we did discover that the Anderson X tractors don't work with clover silage, which was a bit sad. Or clover bales, should I say. So there we go. So previously we had been using this thing or that thing. I can't remember which one. I think that one, because it does square bales. We've been using that to wrap all of our grass bales on the Oxygen David version of this map, and so I was kind of hoping it would also work for clover, and it doesn't. So that's why we've gone to this, and this is possibly my least favourite wrapper, because it takes so long to wrap bales. But again, with the hills that are on your standard Oxygen David map, you kind of want to avoid round bales, in spite of the fact he's got the script that stops bales going through hedges. So if we did have round bales, they'd all roll down to that hedge over there and then just rest up against the hedge. You'd be able to find them all, and they'd probably be easier to collect, but it is what it is. I did try the Kverneland fast baler, and that had a problem with clover as well. With grass, it was wrapping it at normal speed. So we were just driving along, make a bale drops out the back, it gets wrapped, it unloads, and the next bale's feeding out of the baler, and you don't have to stop the tractor if your windrow isn't too deep. But with clover, there was a conflict. It would not run at more than 4 miles an hour. And there ain't no way I'm driving around a field at 4 miles an hour, churning out round bales and wrapping them. The wrapping was done before I'd even half filled the pre-chamber on the baler. So I figured, well, the square baler works, so we'll just do square bales and square wrapping. And it was all a learning experience, but we now have a metric ton of wrapped bales back at the farm, which we're waiting to ferment so that we can feed the sheep, because the sheep are now out of fermented clover or grass, clover silage or clover grass. We have none at the farm at the moment. So our sheep are getting a little bit unhealthy, but we're in early summer. They're not producing wool. They're not producing babies. So if their health drops a few percentage points, it's not critical right now. Obviously, before they get to breeding season, I want them back up to full health. But clover bales should be brewed, when would it be? This is early summer, day 2, so day 1, midsummer. So day after tomorrow, we should have our clover bales by the evening. And I have so many of them that we have a stack down at the BGA waiting for sale. Probably a good tractor to do this with, because of the four-wheel steering really lets us get around the field. And then as soon as we're ready to sell the silage bales that are situated at the BGA, I will be taking out a loan, buying a telehandler, driving across the road, putting the bales in the feeder, digester, and then we'll get the telehandler back to the yard and pay off the loan. It's quite surprising, but the farming agency version of this map is really easy to make money on contracts. And that's because of the, I think for Oxygen David's version of the map, Field 19 you could do contracts. Field 39 you could do contracts. I think 41 was also available. And then there was 16 and 15 maybe, and a couple of the grass fields up at the top round here. Those were the only contract fields available. Now with the farming agency version, pretty much every field can be contracted. And so doing, this field here pays an absolute fortune to the guy who does the contract. So, yay. When I set the farm up, I had £40,000 in the bank, and then it was sort of, there's some equipment I'm going to need to get, because I didn't get all of the stuff I wanted, and I knew things like the baler and the wrapper and everything else I didn't have. And I was actually intending to cheat some money in to cover that cost, because we had the equipment on the previous, pre-reboot. But I made so much money out contracting that I don't need to cheat the money in. I'll just use the contract money to buy the stuff, and we're not going to cheat money into the game again. And now I'm kind of feeling that doing contracts is sort of cheating, because they are so lucrative. I mean, this one's 22,000. And then we're going to have possibly another 22,000 in wrapped grass bales that we just have to wait 3 days to ferment. And we'll be able to use those too, or sell those too for profit and digestate. And some of the spraying contracts are paying out £45,000 for the contract. Now, okay, you need to buy the fertiliser, but in the grand scheme of things, you can probably buy 2 pallets of fertiliser and do 3 contracts with it. So even at £3,000 per pallet, or whatever it is, per IBC, when you're getting paid 40,000 for doing the contract, it's, well, yeah, that's no biggie. I also noticed on this startup there is a spraying contract, which is spray herbicide on the field. So that's a new contract type I haven't seen before. And additionally, there is also a weeding contract, and I'm not going to do that. But a weeding contract, fertilising contract 60,000, baling 20, 13, 28, yep, 11. The one we're doing 32. The spraying contract's 12,000, and that's pretty much a carbon copy of doing fertilising contracts. The nice thing about fertilising contracts is you can do them really quickly. Unlike baling contracts, where we've been at this for about an hour and a half. But we're on the last 3 bales. We'll drive back to the farm. I'll use the loading wagon to move all this stuff. Doink. And the weeds are already growing. So where is this stuff going? Take it to the stable. Isn't the stables just on the road? Map. Stables is... yeah. So we're going to drive down that path to the end, and that's where we're selling the bales. That's nice. And then once we're complete, we can collect all the rest. I think I'll collect all the rest, take them down to the BGA, and store them on the other side of the BGA parking lot. And on our last run, we'll grab that clover hay bale and take it back to the yard. Then I don't have to come back with the JCB. Last one, okay. Go, go, go. Our daughter's out at a church event tonight, and I'm going to have to leave in about 15 minutes. So I'm probably not going to get all this collected up today, but as I said, we'll be back on Monday. Fold up, thank you. So what I may do, I might do the bale collecting bit and contract completion Sunday if I get a chance off stream, and then we'll come back on Monday, and if I've done it right, we'll be close to having the bales we made last 2 weeks ago's stream all fermented and ready to sell, and we'll make lots of money, and it'll be great. And it'll still be midsummer, and I don't think the crops are ready until oh goodness, barley, cotton, okay, wheat. Oh, we could be. We don't have a wheat field. We don't have an oat field. I don't think we have canola. we have triticale. Triticale could be ready. And we have... oh, what's the other thing? Sunflowers. When are sunflowers? Sunflower's not going to be ready to fall. Potato's not going to be ready to fall. Sugar beet's not going to be ready to fall. So we've got 3 crops that aren't going to be ready until fall. But the triticale could be ready as early as 2 days from now. So that might be a thing too. Anyway, let's roll this tractor back to the yard. The other nice thing about a JCB is it does get its groove on. I think we're probably going to want to clean this when we get back to the yard, so I'll go through the front entrance. Okay, that was the warning, you need to go and get your daughter alarm. Or at least think about it. We'll see how far we get. What is the time? 12:15. We tend to leave for church about half an hour. But in reality, it only takes about 20 minutes to drive in. Anyway, so as I said, a bit of a late stream today, but at least we got something done, and we will be back Monday morning around about 9-ish o'clock with a bonus stream from Oakfield Farm, and then we'll be back again next week Saturday at the normal time of 9 o'clock in the morning with kids, so it'll be a little bit loud in the background depending on who decides to take a lie in and who doesn't. And we'll see where we go from there, but potentially we could be getting into our main harvest. I don't expect to be cutting any clover until early fall, but the triticale could be ready within the next couple of streams. Okay, we are here. Slam the brakes on, jump out, feed the dog. Hi dog, have some food. Good, this tractor's certainly picked up the mud, considering we've only bought it last week. Certainly had a good workout. Also, our case has had a good workout, and that's new to the farm. Okay, let's run down the end and get out the cab so I can see what I'm doing. Okay, where's this going? This goes in the third bay. I think I didn't get it far enough over. That would be a good guess. Okay, let's try that again. Select reverse, there we go. Just a little bit easier doing this with a JCB than it is with something like the case. Back that in there. How are we doing? A little bit more. There we go. Well, and stick the wrap through the rear wall. Nice. Alrighty, we'll put the bale spike back on. reverse. Grab the boot. And we downgraded the Valtra from T to a G. Didn't feel the need for an N. You can have a big engine on the N, but I didn't need that expense. The G is sort of the size capacity of something like what's it? The Massey Ferguson 5700, which is a common tractor for me. Okay, we will grab the case. What is the time? We are at 20 after. Okay, I'm going to drive this up to the front gate and we will call it at this point. But as I said, we'll be back on Monday with either right from where we are here, or I'll have done a little bit of work on Sunday off camera. But for now, everybody have a good weekend, have a good Memorial Day, and I am out of here.